Drawing Breath is a series of interviews with humans telling interesting stories. If you'd like to support this channel, please interact with the social media platform that you're using. And now, Michael Lagocki talks about meeting legendary comics artist Bernie Wrightson.
Bernie Wrightson, who I believe is pretty indisputably the greatest American horror comics artist ever. The Frankenstein book was like, man, I think that thing sent shockwaves through the industry. Even though it's not technically a comic, it's an illustrated novel, but God, his work in that is so amazing. And to this day, it's still a successful thing. I saw Nakatomi is, in fact, I got one. Nakatomi is a company that's been reproducing them and working with Bernie's widow to put out editions. They're so gorgeous. God, they're such beautiful, pristine prints. They've done a couple products too with it, like journals and stuff like that. But he definitely, you're right when you say contrast, man. He invested in his time into like light and shadow in comics, in a real serious way. I mean, he was doing that. Neil Adams was doing that at kind of a similar time, maybe Bernie a little bit earlier. But the light and shadow stuff is just like fantastic, and he really knew how to black spot. So I was very pleased to meet him. I met him in Dallas at a Comic-Con. I've met him a couple times in my life. I met him once when I was younger, but the memorable time was I met him late in his life, probably not too long before he died, within a year or two, maybe 3 at most of when he passed. And it was great to meet him, and great to talk to him. I bought a print off of him that I hand colored of Batman fighting Swamp Thing. Man, was that one of the great? Remember that issue? Remember those 2 issues of Swamp Thing written by Alan Moore and drawn by Bernie Wrightson? How good are those? He did a bunch of stuff. He did a very famous Hulk and Thing book. He did that Spider-Man Hooky graphic novel that was so amazing. Punisher POV. He was just like somebody that the big majors loved working with because his work was so unique and so good looking. But I guess Swamp Thing is what people treasure the most about him. I certainly love Swamp Thing. Co-creator of Swamp Thing, Bernie Wrightson.
Yep.
I'm trying to capture a little bit of his black spotting in the Swamp Thing panel I'm drawing here. Met him at a show here. He was in bad shape when I met him. He had just been through some medical stuff. But I did get to meet him. I got to thank him and got to introduce him to somebody as the greatest American horror comics artist. Years later, I took that hand colored print, the Batman Swamp Thing one, and I showed it to Liz Wrightson, his widow, and she loved it. It was cool. But he'll always be remembered. He did such great work with Alan Moore on Swamp Thing, but he did great work on a lot of titles. That Batman Swamp Thing is like one of the great anti-hero versus anti-hero comics ever done.
I also like the Weird.
Oh my God, I love the Weird. That's a great one, dude. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. That's a great one. This one's been heavily printed because I still see them around, and I see them in dollar boxes a lot.
What are they doing in dollar boxes?
And they're so good.
Comics does not belong in them.
They're so good. It's a really fun series.
Drawing Breath is a series of interviews with humans telling interesting stories. If you'd like to support this channel, please interact with the social media platform that you're using.